breaking down Estacado sports. This is the Matador Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Monday, good evening, and welcome into the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score, Fox 34 News Now, and on our YouTube channel. However you're taking us in, thanks for making us part of your Monday evening. This is the Estacado Matadors Fan Zone. Start things off, and the final episode of the year as far as Mondays go. Estacado, Monterey, Memorial, and Liberty on tap for this evening. Wednesday will be Lubbock High, Coronado, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper. These are the final shows of the season, so we're in the penultimate episode. I'm Chois Woodman in for Randy Rosetta. Had to step away tonight, but I believe he'll be back on Wednesday night. He's been covering a lot of high school baseball in particular over the last few weekends, as we saw a couple of local teams go down in recent weeks, but there will still be some baseball left on the airwaves coming up this week, as Liberty and Brock will go at it in the regional finals. You'll hear those games Friday and Saturday on 100.7 The Score. But we are here in the Estacado Matadors Fan Zone. Said we'll have Monterey, Memorial, and Liberty coming up. Expected to be joined by Coach Eric Ward, but not certain if he's going to be able to make it in. Coach Ward, I mentioned Brock just a little bit ago. Coach Ward in his season this past year, entering his third season as the Matadors head coach, went 8-4 in 2025. They lost in the third round to Brock. 2024, and went 7-5 and lost in the area round to Brock. So I think West Texas teams are kind of tired of playing the old Brock Eagles. But this Matadors team should be a pretty interesting one to keep an eye on. They'll lose some speed, but do have some talent back on this particular team. Districts will look a little bit different in most areas, but their district does not change for the Estacado Matadors. Their main competition again this coming season will be the Liberty Patriots, but we do see something that will happen for the first time in a long time with Estacado, and that's the Matadors opening the season against the Lubbock High Westerners. It's been quite some time since these two schools have played against each other, so we'll be looking forward to seeing Lubbock High and Estacado go at it on the gridiron. But that Estacado team will be a fun one to watch, as it usually is. We'll take some thoughts, comments, questions. If you want to text in, you got any questions for the coaches, we'll be joined by Coach Josh Davis, the boys basketball coach for Monterey, coming up in the Plainsman edition of the Fan Zone. Memorial, also we'll talk some boys basketball, visiting with Coach CJ Villegas. We'll talk a lot, some summer ball, what they look like as they rise to Class 5A next year in the 10-team district with District 3 5A. And then the last coach left alive, I believe, in the Lubbock area. We'll visit with the Liberty Patriots and Lamar Kello, head coach there, as they'll talk some Liberty baseball as they advance to the Regional Championship Series against Brock coming up later this weekend. But as I mentioned, y'all hit us up if you've got any thoughts, comments, questions for any of our coaches in tonight. You can bring those in via our Yates Flooring Center chat line on the 100.7 The Score mobile app. We're talking Estacado Matadors here at the first part. One thing that Coach Ward will have, he may be losing some speed off of his team this coming season. As we mentioned, Cedric Ross, James Bozeman, Donovan Torres. But one thing he will have is one of the most coveted players in the Lubbock area, and that is Vershandrick Smith. Vershandrick Smith in the class of 2027, four-star athlete. He's got some offers from a few different places. North Texas, Colorado State, New Mexico State. His dad played for, I believe, TCU, but he's been in chats with some SEC schools as well. So, Vershandrick Smith, 6'2" defensive lineman, 335. He is a big old boy that's going to be playing for the Matadors this coming season. I believe we've got the normal host of the High School Fan Zone on the Visual Edge IT hotline, Randy Rosetta. What's up, Randy?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing what I've been doing most of the last month, it seems like. I'm at a stadium watching a baseball game.
You have been all over lately. You've had travels to Holiday, to Abilene, to everywhere in between, it seems. So we'll talk. Go ahead.
Throw Graham in there. We had to stop in Graham.
That's true.
Beautiful facility. I will say this, Choice. Both of us have gotten to see some pretty cool baseball facilities. I'm glad there's a few of those popping up out in Texas now.
Yeah. There's some great baseball facilities, and these teams are starting to invest a little bit more in that in recent years. Randy, we'll take a break here, and we'll talk some baseball here in just a moment when we come back. But this is the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Estacado sports. This is the Matador Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for making us part of your Monday evening. This is the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. I'm Chois Woodman in for Randy Rosetta, but Randy joins us on the Visual Edge IT hotline from the road. Randy, we were talking about it, but a lot of baseball you've been taking in, obviously, writing plenty on upcitypreps.com. And you've gotten to see quite a few really quality teams that have made it deep in the playoffs. Unfortunately, only one left, but there's been some deep runs this year.
Yeah, there has, and I've seen. This is. I hope Chad Reynolds isn't listening. This is probably going to be like punching him in the gut. I've seen two things in the last week that I had not seen in 40 years of doing this. You were there for one of them. The way that Friendship's game ended the other night when it looked like they had rallied and won that thing, and then a ball drops off. One of the best players in Lubbock right now just bounces off his glove. Mm-hmm. And a few nights later, Liberty goes into the bottom of the seventh down 3 runs and found a way to score 4 runs, 3 of those with 2 outs. This time of year, there's going to be weirdness and magical stuff and all kinds of things, and that's what makes high school sports so fun. And I hate it for Friendship and Chad, because that was you saw him a lot this season. That was, I would argue, that may be the best team he's had since I've had my website. And maybe it wasn't supposed to be that way. They lost so many guys, but offensively they were just so good, 1-9, and then the 3 guys who stepped up on the mound were good all season. I felt like they had a chance to go for a while, and Fireman Marcus, they seem to be one of those teams that's gotten shot at the right time.
Yeah, it's one of those, you lose games where it's like, okay, you ran into a better team. You see that plenty of times in the playoffs, and I don't think that Friendship will feel that way on this, because you beat yourself that weekend, which is not what we've seen all season. So that was, I'm sure this is one of those that will take a while to get over, but it's still a fantastic season whenever you can look back on it.
That's a message I got directly from Chad Reynolds via tweet, was this one's going to take a while this one's going to sting for a while, is what he said. So now Lubbock Cooper, very similar. Those two teams have a lot of similarities, lost a lot of guys, found pitching that guys who had been there just hadn't been asked to pitch, and ran into an Argyle team that Argyle seems to know what they're doing at this time of year. And great series. Went to the third game. It's very similar to the Liberty game, only kind of reversed. Argyle found a way to score a few runs late and found one pitcher who threw strikes when it mattered most. And in game threes, when you can find a pitcher who will stay around the strike zone and consistently get outs, that sure changes the complexion of things.
No doubt. And we'll visit with Coach Kello in a little bit to talk some Liberty baseball. So I'm going to shift it real quick on you, Randy, while we've got you on just for a moment. Looking towards next year's football season, as this is the last episode on a Monday of the High School Fan Zone, which of our High School Fan Zone teams do you think is the hardest to predict what their season is going to be next year in football?
That's a great question, because so many teams have lost players, and this will be year 4 for Liberty, year 1 for Memorial to varsity level.
Right.
And you're going to see Lubbock Cooper and Friendship both be affected. Friendship, actually, I thought got affected pretty quickly last year in several sports. But there's also the fact that they're going to be 5A now. Memorial is going to be 5A for the first time. So Liberty is very intriguing to me. They did lose a lot of guys, but when you watched them play last year, they also had a lot of guys coming back. And since we hear all I don't know if this is buttering up or not, but Rick Leach's son, Cy Leach, is kind of the heir apparent at quarterback for Liberty, and Dad was a pretty dang good quarterback at Odessa High back in the day.
So I've heard.
So there's some good athletic genes, and listen, Cy doesn't need his dad's name to be out there. He's going to go out there and do some things on his own. Liberty's going to be good in 4A. Estacado's always going to be good. Eric Ward, I was hoping you'd get a chance to talk to him. They lost a lot of guys with speed, but they have a guy coming back named Iverson McGuire that just finished second in the state in the 200. Was a great defensive back, a great returning guy last year. They're going to be somebody to keep an eye on, at least for the regular season. It seems like those 4A teams keep running into Brock at inopportune times when they get to the playoffs, and that's kind of been the end of the road.
Well, Randy, we're running out of time, so we're gonna take it or bring in Coach Smith from Monterey, but I appreciate you hopping on with me.
No problem. You guys have a good night.
It's the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.